when you're thinking also about your journey, you've of course seen how women's basketball has evolved from then to, of course, now. It's being watched more than ever. We're hearing more names of female athletes that are being put in the spotlight. How would you define the involvement, and what do you appreciate about it?
As the game has evolved and changed, I think it's in line with kind of our culture, which has been more fast-paced, more access, more 24-hour-ness of it, which I don't necessarily love, because at the end of the day, we are humans who do need rest and a little bit of a rhythm of that work-rest balance, rather. But I do love the access in that it's highlighting the stories. I think one of the ways the women's game has grown so much is because smart people who have been in positions of power to elevate the game have focused on the story of the athletes, which are amazing. Like, there's so many amazing people, so many amazing women who are in this craft. And so I think when you highlight the person as well as appreciating their talent, it just creates a really attractive draw to want to watch them compete and play. And then the fan base gets really proud and invested as well. So I think just that combination of just focusing on the storytelling, giving the eyeballs, promoting the players in the game, and creating that connection with the fans is what makes our game special.
Well, I have to say, when preparing for this interview, I didn't have to Google your name, because I already know everything there is to know about you. Everyone in this room knows that I'm a huge fan. But I went ahead and did it anyway, and I wanted to know if you knew that when you Google your name, the first thing that comes up before saying a basketball player is a social justice advocate. What does that mean to you, and how do you feel using your platform is an important way to do so, as we have seen you do?
I actually haven't sat around and Googled my name recently, so that is actually very interesting and warms my heart to know that the things that I've tried to do in the justice space, connected to our story with my now husband, Jonathan Irons, and trying to shine a light on a vulnerable segment of our population, just makes me feel so much more proud and purposeful for my basketball journey. You know, basketball has been an amazing experience, ups and downs, challenges, triumphs. But when we can use all those things, you know, it's a game, right? It's a game we created, and we enjoy it. But I think that the depth of the joy comes from when you can take those things from the game and apply it to our greater lives, right? And to see it spread into more than just the court. And so I'm so grateful that my legacy and my efforts have been able to hopefully inspire people to make sure we're keeping our perspective on what matters most, which is each other.
Well said. While doing that Google search, I came across your, well, now X, formerly Twitter, bio, and you mentioned being a drummer and a lover of Red Velvet Cake. I want to know first, how did you get into drums, and how much do you love Red Velvet Cake?
Oh, the big questions of life. Cake or drums? Where should I start? No, drums, like, music has always been a big part of my life, just kind of behind the scenes. I grew up in a musical family, learned to play drums when I was 10 years old, and it just stuck. It was kind of like basketball. I was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my body, with my efforts, because drumming, kind of like basketball, you're doing multiple things at once. And it just fit my personality. So always singing, always just have music in my head and kind of in my body. So music is very healing for me, whether in triumph or struggle. And Red Velvet Cake, I have a dynamic relationship with Red Velvet Cake. I love, hate, because now that I'm not 18, those calories stick around a little longer. So me and Red Velvet have had to slow it down. But every now and again, like on a weekend like now, I might eat some.